One of the trickiest parts about portrait photography isn't the gear. It's helping people feel comfortable enough so they feel like themselves. But beyond the posing, one of my favorite challenges is the lighting. So today, we're at my friend's house to shoot some updated branding photos for his upcoming book. We'll talk through 3 distinct setups, the lighting strategy, and composition for each. Let's get set up. My first test shot out of the gate felt way too artificial. The strobe was hitting him too hard and the background was too dark. When you're lighting an environmental portrait, you want the light to feel intentional and blend with existing light. Can I scoot this table here like down?
Yeah.
I just want to be able to scoot my light a little bit because right now it's wrapping around you a little more than I think I would like for this. Let me see. We wanted something much moodier, so I pulled the light in tight to his right side to deepen the shadows. I lowered the strobe power, let in a bit more ambient light, and we were good to go. Oh yeah, that is getting there. It was a bummer when we lost the window light, but that let us really lean into the moody look we were going for. That feels so much better. Okay. Yeah, that feels so much better. I really like the light right there. That looks great. Crazy. I love using a little haze to let highlights like that desk lamp bloom. It creates this really soft texture. You lose a bit of contrast, but it gives the image some dimension. All right, so I got a light pivoted over here. So the idea is this is kind of going to be a little bit of a topper. This is kind of going to be like a practical warm rim for us because it's just already there, so it's going to look really nice. But the idea is we're going to come here, probably move that lamp back a little bit, and then shoot that way. And Connor's going to be here at the desk. Going to switch to a 35 so that we have a little bit more room because I'm like backed into a corner over here. I don't know if you can see. But I don't have a lot of room to work with here. So we're gonna try to get as much room as we can on the 35. And that'll be nice because we'll be able to shoot a little bit more shallow, be able to shoot around f2, maybe go a little bit faster even just to see how much light we got. But that's kind of the idea. If you want, I can just set it literally just set it up. Oh, that thing's handy.
It is a literal stone.
Oh my gosh. For the next look, I wanted to see how much color that background lamp could give us on its own before dialing in our main light right above our subject. Looking at the screen, I knew I had to fix 2 things right away. The background was turning into a black hole, and his eyes felt a bit empty. Even as small, I really needed a catch light to create more of a connection to him. Nobody likes dead shark eyes. So I got my second strobe here all set up. Put the warm gel on there. We're gonna throw it up right down there and we'll be back. All right, so we got our light set up out there. It's a little janky on a wood there, but it's all good. Looking pretty good. So we'll see how this feels coming through the window. I only planned for the light outside to hit the background, but once I saw how it was spilling onto our subject, I was like, dang, that's sweet. So we rolled with it. I eventually flagged it with the blinds, but it'll give the gallery some nice variety. It's fine. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Great. I like that. Yeah. Sweet, man. For the next shot, we're going to try to get something on this bridge here. And kind of what I am thinking I want to do is I want to try to kind of frame from this angle here, have him there, and I want to put a little umbrella on him. So I'm going to shoot a plate, and then I'm going to light him, bring the umbrella in and light him, and then I'm going to just kind of mask the umbrella out later in post. Obviously, the source isn't going to be motivated from anything because the sun at this point has set. It's going to be a really soft source. It's going to fall off really quickly because it's going to be so close to him. And so there's really nothing in nature like that exists. The light doesn't feel like that on people in nature, unless you're maybe next to a window. But we're going to try that, I think, and we're going to see how it goes. And I think it'll still look pretty good. So here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1. Stepping outside, the first frame was a little hot. The flash was already at its absolute lowest power, so I had to adjust a couple things. I needed to move the light back physically to get less out of it, and I needed to drag my shutter to bring in a bit more ambient light. It took a second to balance it, but we found the sweet spot. I think the only other thing I'm going to try is I think I'm just going to come in, bring that strobe in just a little bit closer to him. I kind of just want maybe a little bit more fall off. I feel like what we have already is pretty strong and looks really nice, but I'm just going to bring it in a little bit more. Nah, it's okay. It'll be fine. Just going to bring it in just a little closer. All right, and 3, 2, 1. In the final edit, I just cleaned up the frame a bit and really leaned into some warm tones. Here is going to be our final setup. We're just going to do one light here as a key. Going to have him sitting right here against gray. That way it's just going to be a nice clean option for him. And we have this lamp over here we were using earlier. I think I'm going to be able to use it just as a constant and just kind of use it as a nice little warm rim in conjunction with our key light here. Future KJ here. Yeah, that was never going to work. I'm going to turn this guy in the corner over here off when we get started. And we'll see if we can get that to bleed in a little bit and just kind of let that be a constant light that's going to join in. So I think as our last setup, I think it's going to look pretty nice. And it's going to, I think, help achieve that kind of like moodier look that he wants to go for as a fantasy author. Well, a dark fantasy author. So yeah, a dark fantasy author.
We treat it seriously.
Alas, the lamp just wasn't working, so I relented and added a second strobe. The gray backdrop felt okay, but it needed some more separation. The light was bleeding onto the paper too much, and because I was shooting wide open to bring in the warmth of that lamp without bumping ISO too much, the background was just getting lost. You might be asking yourself, KJ, why in the world are you using a lamp as a rim? You have another strobe with you. Well, to that I say, you're right. And also, I didn't feel like gelling a strobe and setting it up in a tight corner, okay? Regardless of how ridiculous it was to even try this, when I'm mixing studio lights with a constant light, or in this case, a random house lamp, I always dial on the ambient light first. Once that's feeling good, then I figure out where the flash fits in. right, well, that is a wrap on headshots. Thanks so much for watching.